Konnichiwa, Guten Tag, and Hola, Church Kids. That means hello in Japanese, German, and Spanish. Well, I hope that you had a great day today. You are going to love tonight's story. But before we jump in, why don't we take a second and ask your parents if they want to join us? Don't worry, I'll wait for you. All right, are we good? Everybody set? Fantastic. Well, church kids and moms and dads, I am so excited to let you know about a brand new game called ChurchKids Trivia on Amazon Alexa. You can play it by saying, Alexa, play ChurchKids Trivia, and test your knowledge about the Church Kids stories. You can compete against each other, against friends, or just play by yourself. And if you like it, will you take a moment and just let us know in the reviews? Okay. I have a question for you. Is there a store, church kids, that you don't like to go into, but your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa take you into? When I was little, my mom used to make me go with her to the fabric store. It was an entire store dedicated to nothing but fabric. No toys, no candy, nothing. Just walking up and down the aisles. It made me feel like I was stuck inside a prison made of fabric. What's the store or place where you feel trapped? Maybe it's the hardware store, the grocery store, or is it the dreaded fabric store? Now, imagine how happy you feel when you finally get to leave the store, hop in the car, and go back home. Sweet relief! That feeling of relief and joy that you feel is a teeny tiny sliver of the joy and relief the Israelites felt when God set them free from slavery in Egypt. For the first time in 400 years, the Israelites were free. God used the 10 plagues or consequences, thank you, frogs and blood, to convince King Pharaoh to let them go. As they left Egypt, the Israelites headed towards the new home that God had prepared for them. God called this new home their promised land. But to get there, the Israelites needed to cross a desert. No big deal, right? Well, not so fast. It wasn't going to be easy. If the Israelites felt trapped in Egypt, they were about to feel it a whole lot more. So buckle your seatbelts. After walking through the wilderness for 16 days, the Israelites bumped into an ocean at a place today we call the Gulf of Suez. But in Moses' day, it was called the Red Sea. As the millions of Israelites walked up to the calm water, lapping at the sandy beach, they looked around and said, "Sweet, our first beach vacation." But they couldn't be more wrong. Because out of nowhere, the sound of roaring wheels and pounding hooves came from the desert behind them. The Israelites turned around and saw a massive swirling cloud of sand coming towards them. Sandstorm? No. Tornado? Worse. It was a stampeding herd of desert squirrels. Cool, but no. It was the entire Egyptian army racing from Egypt to recapture the Israelites. Can you imagine how the Israelites felt? They were now trapped between an ocean and an evil army. "We're gonna die!" they shouted. And in Exodus chapter 14, this is what the Bible says happened next. But Moses told the people, "Don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord," that's another name for God, "rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm." Then God told Moses, "Take your walking stick and hold it out towards the ocean, and watch what I do." Moses obeyed God, and everyone watched as God sent a swirling wind that split the ocean right down the middle, creating a dry path through the middle on the ocean floor. "Everyone through!" Moses yelled, and all of the Israelites walked through the middle of the Red Sea. Can you imagine what it was like looking up to see huge walls of water on both sides of you? God did the impossible that day for the Israelites. Every one of them made it across safely. And after watching them walk through the Red Sea, Pharaoh thought, well, that doesn't look so hard. So he and his entire army chased after them. But unfortunately for them, when they were halfway across, God told Moses, "Raise your walking stick over the water again." And when Moses did, the huge wall of water crashed back into place, squishing the Egyptian soldiers chasing the Israelites. As the water swirled back into place, the Israelites realized that God had set them free. They weren't trapped anymore. God took them from fear and slavery to freedom and joy, because that's what God does. Do you know that Jesus does the same thing for you? When you feel trapped, scared, frustrated, or even sad, Jesus is there with you, just like he was with Moses and the Israelites. What do we do when we feel trapped? We ask Jesus to help us. If you're at school and you're getting frustrated because you're having a hard time with the assignment, ask Jesus to help you. If you're in bed and the darkness is making you feel afraid, ask Jesus to help you. If you hear kids around you make fun of another student and you want to stand up for them, but you're feeling nervous, ask Jesus to help you. No matter where we are or why we feel trapped, Jesus is right there with us and wants to help. Even at the fabric store. Have a wonderful night's sleep. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to try out ChurchKids Trivia. You're the absolute best. Good night.